Good morning and welcome. It is Wednesday morning, the 7th of May 2025. Oh, my name's Jenny McCormac, sorry about that. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire, and that's here in the UK. Good morning to you. If you're joining us live, do say hi. It's always lovely to know who has joined us. If you're watching on replay or catch up, either here on Facebook, excuse me, or on YouTube, then just let me know. Pop a hi in the comments. If you have any questions about anything that I show you or anything Stampin' Up related, do pop those in the comment section either on Facebook or on YouTube, and I will endeavour to get back to you. YouTube comments excuse me, are a lot easier to track than Facebook comments and messages, so that's a safer bet. But if you have any questions, pop them in either of those locations. So yesterday saw the launch of our brand new annual catalogue from Stampin' Up. So this lasts a whole year, so it started yesterday, and the products in here will be available right the way through to the end of April next year. Just going to see if it gives us a date. Excuse me, I've got a tickle this morning. 4th of May 2026. So the products in here will run all the way through to that. We do have some new in colour, so if you're new to Stampin' Up, we have our core colour range, which includes our brights, our subtles, our regals and our neutrals. And we also have 2 sets of 5 in colours, and they come in for 2 years at a time. Morning, Babsy. So this is our 2025 through to 2027 in colours. You might recognise one of these, which is this one here. Now I appreciate that the colour that you see on the screen may or may not reflect accurately the actual colour. Obviously the only way to do that is to see it in person, but hopefully it'll give you a feel for the new colours that we have. So these are available excuse me, in the cardstock, in the inks, bar one colour, which I'll talk about in a minute. We have our blends pens, we have our Stampin' Write markers, and we have ribbon and also embellishments that go with that. The cardstock is available in A4. It's also available in 12 by 12 for those that do scrapbooking. Morning to you, Scott. Thank you so much for joining us. So these are the 5 new in colours. Let me introduce them. So we have Secret Sea, which is a very deep blue. So blue almost heading towards black. I wonder if I can reach a Night of Navy as a contrast. So this is Night of Navy. So this is more of a deeper, almost grey blue, black blue, rather than blue. That makes sense. So that is Secret Sea. Then we have Timid Tiger. And as a contrast, let me show you Pumpkin Pie. Which is this one here. So I know it's quite difficult to see on the screen, and also the lighting here. So this is Timid Tiger on the left, Pumpkin Pie on the right. So it's more of an orange. This is a slightly, I would say, peachier orange, if that sort of makes any sense at all. Let me put that back. Then we have Cloud Cover. Now this is very similar to the Soft Sky that we had a good few years ago. Let me put it next to Balmy Blue. So this is Balmy Blue on the right, this is Cloud Cover on the left, and it's a more grey blue in terms of the tone. So this is Balmy Blue. Make sure I put those back in the right place. Then we have Strawberry Slush. Now Strawberry Slush we had out a good few years ago. I can't remember, I think it must have also been in colour at that time. So let me put that next to Melon Mambo. So this is Melon Mambo on the right and Strawberry Slush on the left. So a slightly softer, slightly more orange pink, I would say. I'm not going to get all the colours out to show you. And this is Darling Duckling. If I put that next to Daffodil Delight, you'll see the difference. Well, hopefully you'll see the difference. It's difficult on this screen. So I would say a slightly more greener yellow. There's hues of green in there, definitely. And then this is Daffodil on the right hand side. So 5 new colours, and they are available to order. Now, one thing to note is normally we do a bundle pack. You can buy the card as a mixed pack of card with 20 sheets, so you get 4 of each colour. But the ink pads normally do excuse me, as a bundle of 5 together at a discounted price. Stampin' Up have had some technical issues with the Cloud Cover ink pad, and apparently it's reacting, the ink is reacting to our foam ink pads. It does happen occasionally. It happened with Purple Posy, if anybody remembers that, of about 4 or 5 years ago. So Stampin' Up have made the decision not to release that as an ink pad. There is limited supply to demonstrators, but what they don't want to do is supply something that doesn't meet our critical standards. So you won't be able to order the Cloud Cover ink pad. So they have withdrawn the bundle pricing. So you can buy these 4 colours together. These 4 colours in ink pads, but separately. What you can do if you're desperate for Cloud Cover is you can order a Cloud Cover ink refill and the stamping spots, which are the small little felt ink pads, and then you can top up that onto your small ink pad. I'm trying to see if I've got one here to show you. There we go. So it's like this. So it's a small ink pad, it's a 1-inch one, but it still works obviously for inking up. So you can buy the refill, and I'll do a special offer that if you buy the refill, then you can buy an individual one of these from me, rather than having to buy a set of 5, which is how they come at the minute. So I am running an in colour club, which will include these. It will include the blends pens, the Stampin' marker and the ribbon, and 4 of the 5 ink pads. So it is a shame that we won't have that available, but Stampin' Up have a minimum amount of tolerance that they're happy to run with, and this ink pad, just due to its chemical nature, it's just one of those things. Some ink pads will be absolutely fine, but the colour can change over time, and they're not happy with that. So they have withdrawn that in that particular situation. Okay, so let's crack on really quickly. I am going to show you something from our new online selection, but this is the new catalogue. So they are going out. They're going out in the Class in a Box. They're going out to coffee and card attendees this week. Lots of brand new products in here, a better layout from last year. They changed the format last year, and we've requested some new elements be put back in, and some older elements returned, and that's exactly what they've done. So there's some great new products here. I will do a catalogue walkthrough separately. I don't want to do it here because it'll take a little time. You'll see there's more scrapbooking products than we had before. We had a separate scrapbooking brochure, and alongside this we also have all our online exclusive items that will come out throughout the year. So I hope you like this. Great bit of fun, some beautiful products which I'll be showing obviously in the next few months, right the way through. So that is the annual catalogue. Those are the in colours. Let me hop on to the product that I'm going to show you today. And this is a great one I've decided for coffee and card, because it's a sentiment stamp. Let me bring this up to the camera. It actually has 19 different sentiments in there, but it's a single stamp, like so. Let me take it out from here. And it's a single rubber stamp, so you could just with a pen or an ink pad just ink up one or two of these, but what you can do is ink up the whole lot, and I'm going to show you 3 ways to use it. So basically use it as a background. One is to use it for sentiments, and the other one is just to use the matching die set to cut out some sentiment panels. So this is also a die. As you can see, it's a single one, and that die cuts out each of those sentiments. And let me show you, I just pre-cut out the plain ones, because this is going to be great for my coffee and card when somebody asks for a small or a medium or relatively large. So we've got all of these shapes. We've got some sort of squovels, we've got some 2 of those. They're slightly different. We've got some narrow ones, some long ones, and they're different as well. Some are angled off, like here, some very small ones. So I would definitely recommend having the stamp set and the dies, because there are not that many small sentiments that we have that will cut those out. Morning, Caroline, I hope you're well. I'm just going to have a sip of my drink. Excuse me, because I've got this horrible tickle back today. Hopefully that will relieve it. So it's called More Messages, and we did have a similar one previously, but the messages weren't always the ones that you would necessarily use, but I think this is a much better mix. So we've got a good luck, birthday, you're the absolute best, way to go, hooray, happy day, you're simply incredible, thanks a lot, congratulations, always here, time to celebrate, lots of love, hi there. There's a little hello in there as well. So a really nice mix of sentiments. So what I'm going to do to start with is I'm just going to stamp those out. So these are the die cuts. So at Coffee and Carbon have lots now. You can see that, can't you? So I'm going to use Secret Sea. This is the new deep blue colour that we have. And I'm going to ink this up and stamp it. And it's quite a big stamp, so what you can do is ink it up and place your paper or card on the top and do it that way. If you've got one of our large blocks, you could place it on the large block, or you could use a stamp positioning tool. Like the Stampinup, which is actually what I'm going to use today, just to make it a bit easier. So let's pop this on here. It doesn't really matter where it goes. So I'll just stamp it on a piece of white so that you can see it. This is just 1/4 of an A4, which is just about right. It will just fit on there. That will be close enough. Let me just use a little bit of tape to hold that in place. Have I got another piece? Yes, I have. So, oh, there was a piece there. Can't use my magnet on it because it covers the whole of that area. So this is Secret C, and these were quite nicely spaced on the stamp. So if you only wanted a small area, you could literally just stamp, ink up part of that if you want to. Okay, press that down like so. There we go. My congratulations was a bit close to the edge, but we'll be okay. Okay, so that's so you can see the sentiments that you get in that particular set. And what we're going to do is we can just literally place that on top and cut those all out in one go. So while I'm here, I might as well just do that. I am going to do some more in a second. Let me just put that to one side. Just pop this on. Just going to use a little bit of tape. This is a bit of a narrow piece that I've chosen, but it'll still do the job. So you can buy the stamp set on its own. It is £24, and you could fussy cut some of these elements. Now I know I've cut this a little bit small, so I do apologise, but I just want to show you how that will go in one go on our die cutting machine. So at the moment it's a beautiful day here. Let's hope it stays. There we go. Okay, there's my postman. Let's pop those all out. That's my congratulations one that's right on the edge. Okay, not much left from that A6 piece of card. So there we go, we've got a whole series of sentiments ready to go. That one obviously I cut from the edge. So what you can do is stamp those in a few different colours, pop them into a little pot, and you've got all of those ready to go. There are 19, I don't know why they didn't do 20, but there are 19 different sentiments all together. I like the font as well, they're a nice mix of capitals and lowercase. So I've got just plain ones that you can stamp your own onto, and then those ones that I've stamped and cut. So what I'm going to do is create a card. I'm going to use a piece of cloud cover cardstock, and I'm going to stamp that in Secret C, and then I'm going to stamp and heat emboss a whole sheet, and then just use one of those elements as to pop up. So let me see, am I going to have this as the card base? I might. or I might have it as a layer. Decisions. Okay, I think I'm going to have it as a layer. Okay, so I'm going to pop that onto my stamparatus. And I'm just going to put this in here. Just want to make sure that it's all covered. Yeah. Okay. So I could use my magnets. I've got some here. I can peel them off my camera stand. That's easier said than done. There we go. Oh. Right. Let's put one up here. One down here. Make sure it's clear of that, which it is. So secrecy, I'm going to use that again. And I know this is a bit wasteful on card, but I'm just doing it for speed as much as anything. Otherwise I would cut a smaller piece of card. So this is going to be the backing for my card. So just a good amount of pressure on there, like so. Okay, I'm going to trim this down. And then what I'm going to do is clean this off, and I'm going to stamp onto a piece of secrecy and heat emboss it in white. Let me put that ink pad closed. I just need to grab a cloth to clean it. Now I often get questions about heat embossing, and the thing is with heat embossing is there are a lot of factors. There's the card that you're stamping and embossing onto, there's your heat tool, making sure it's hot enough, and there's your powder, making sure that it is still new. Unfortunately, the powders do go off after a while, especially if they have, if they're exposed to any extra air. Right, let me find my secret C piece. Obviously, you could go for bright, some bright colours. So I'm just going to do the same. Just going to chop this in half. As I say, this is a little bit wasteful, but when you're on camera, it's a case of getting it done. And it would only be a small offcut anyway. So I'm going to pop this on here where my stamp is going to go. I can put my little magnets in, make sure that's clear of the magnets, which it is. And I'm going to use our Versamark ink pad, so that's another factor, is making sure there's enough fresh ink on your Versamark ink pad or your watermark ink pad. So I'm going to ink this up and stamp it in the clear ink onto our piece of secrecy card, like so. I haven't used my embossing buddy on here. Hopefully I haven't handled it too much. Okay, now what I tend to do is have a good look and see, I don't know if you can see that on there, I think you can, yeah, that the ink has been transferred right the way across. If in doubt, just ink it up again. You want enough ink for the embossing powder to be able to stick to your card. Let's put that away. Okay, Okay, so I'm going to emboss this in white. There we go. Okay, so there's our ink on there. Obviously you can use, I haven't used Versamark as a background for a long time, but you could just use that on its own, allow it to dry or heat set it. Look at my face. Oh dear. Okay, right, here I've got my white embossing powder. Now I know that this embossing powder is actually quite old, and a way you can check it is the colour. Okay, this is white card, this is my embossing powder. And if you can see, it's quite, you probably can't see on there, it's quite yellow. So I know this is not the most recent, but I'm just going to spoon this over. And also your embossing powder can get contaminated with bits of glitter and bits of paper. So I'm just spreading this all over. I can see a bit of dimensional in there as well. Normally I would scoop it into here, but I've got quite a large piece of card, so I'm just literally going to tip that all the way over, like so. Maybe if I put the white card next to it now, you can see. I don't know. I don't know if you can see, it's quite off colour. It's very difficult on the camera. Okay, let's just ping the back of it. Get rid of any loose powder. And then if you see anything that you might have missed, there's a little bit on the end of here, I can see. Just going to add a little bit onto that. Better. Okay, so be careful you don't brush that now with your fingers or anything else before you heat set it. Okay, lid on. And then you want to warm your heat tool up first. I'm going to do that. And we're going to start from one end. Just take your time, work your way across methodically. Okay, so if I take that away, hopefully you can see the bits that I've embossed versus the bits that are not embossed. It's always difficult on the camera. So while I'm here, I might as well do the whole thing. And if it's still dull, it means we haven't heated it up enough. Well done, Chino. It's okay, you can come back now. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that on there, but it's shiny. You might not be able to tell, I don't know. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is pop that through again with our die cut plate, cut the whole thing out, and then what I'm going to do is select maybe one, maybe two. This is going to be the background of our card, and I'm just going to put one of those up. Obviously you can use these just as sentiments in their own right. You don't have to use them in the way that I've done. So let's just line this up. Make sure I've got it central for all of those. I didn't spot that one, a note. First time I've seen that one. Let me put a little bit of tape on. So a bit there and a bit there. Okay, that will hold it enough. I'm going to pop that through our machine with the plate on the top. I don't know how come I got my hands so dirty. There we are. Okay, so pop those all out. That's everything. Voila. So what I'm going to do is create a base card of Secret C. Let's put all of these there. I'm going to trim this down. Now it's bigger than the front, so I can just either choose a selection or just cut it down as I see fit. So let's see. Let's trim it and then see which bit I might want. You could do half of this, that would be quite fun, and have a, an image on the other side. I think there's lots of things that you could do with this. So all I'm going to do is trim this to see what size it will be. Like so. Okay, so cut down, that measures 10.5, so that's the width of the card. And this is 14.5. So which way am I going to trim it? I think what I'm going to do, I want it to be 10. So what if I could be really clever and trim it really close? Oops. I might just get away with that. There we are. Right, let's have a look how that looks. I know it's going to be tight. Okay, let's score this in half. I just dropped my scoring blade. So if you ordered your class in the box with me, they are going out today. I'm waiting for 1 or 2 items of order to come in if you ordered anything extra or if you switched your colours. But the majority will go out today. The dimensions are all done, and I've just got the videos to do, which will be done tonight. Okay, let's have a look. I think I can get away with that. What do you reckon? It's very close. Right, a bit of glue here. So I'm going to put this down as is. And it's quite nice actually that they're all sort of in that direction, if you know what I mean. There's none that are upside down. Okay, so there's our base card. And then all I want to do is choose one to go on the top. Good morning, Nicole. Thank you for joining us. So I could do a couple like this. So I'm just thinking if I've got happy birthday, there it is, like so, time to celebrate, and what else would go with that? You're simply incredible, like that. It's a bit, I don't like that so much. You can do anything that would work. Just got to find it. There we go. So I can move that a little bit because I've got a little bit of space. Same with the happy birthday actually. All I need to do is just cover that edge. So I could do that, or I could just literally put something over the others. What do we think? So you don't have to match where I put them. Ah, that's a good point. So I could put happy birthday. Time to celebrate. What do we think? Just one, or are we going to go for the bunch? And of course I could also mix in the white ones as well. So I'm tempted to do my first thought, which was happy birthday, time to celebrate, and then actually hooray would fit on there, like that. I'll lift that up so you can see it a bit better. Yes, I think I'm going to go, what was the other one I had? You can do anything, wasn't it? I think I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to move my happy birthday over just a little bit. Hooray's going to fit on there. And let's see if I've got anything else. No, I'm going to stick with that. So that's all of those there. So keep all those in a little pot, and these are going to go up on dimensionals. This makes a great man's card, obviously. Let me just trim this down. So this is the new cloud cover, this blue grey. So this is going to go over that one. You don't need to put it straight over. You could do at a jaunty angle. My hooray is going to go over that I miss you, or miss you I should say. Like so. It'd be fun to do this in different colours, wouldn't it? You could stamp it in lots of really bright colours, or just use coloured card. There we go. And then, yeah, time to celebrate. I'm just going to bring that down a little bit if I can. And we're done. Let's use up these little scraps. So this is not in the catalogue. This is one of our new online exclusives. We also have 2 new kits that were launched yesterday. I've ordered both of those, so you will see those in due course. Okay, just going to bring this down a little bit so it's off that edge, like so. There we go. I'm going to add a piece, actually I'll just use a piece of white. I was going to use cloud cover for the inside, but I've got a piece of white there. Let's do that 10 by 14.35. So you can use the stamps on their own, and just fussy cut, or cut, you know, just cut around them or cut them with a trimmer. It's got a mark on it, that's clean on that side. You could stamp a large sentiment on the inside of here, that a big happy birthday or something like that. Right, try not to transfer anything from my hands to the inside of that. We could put in You're the Absolute Best. I've probably got that in the blue as well. Oh, You're Simply Incredible. I'm going to go with that one, I think. Just going to glue that down on the inside. And we're done. So this is called More Messages. It's a single stamp that does thinking I've got that happy birthday. I'll put that underneath. So it's a single stamp. One stamp does all 19 of these sentiments in one go. You could just cut up between them with some scissors or a trimmer, so you could just cut round those. But I think having the die that cuts them all out at the same time, plus it cuts out, you know, just the shape, so you could have that without the sentiments. So these will be going into my little stash for coffee and card, because it means I've got some extra different shapes. Let's pop this one in. But I do think stamping them onto different colours and then cutting them out, so you could have, you know, a rainbow of colours going down, which each of the sentiments. So for example, like this, you could have, imagine these in different colours going down onto your base card, like so. Good luck. Way to go. Like that. That's just give me an idea for you could have them like signposts. So you could have, you know, that as a signpost, like that. Good luck. Can do anything. Like so. That would be fun too, wouldn't it? So I think there's lots of different ways that you could use this, and it's funny how when you're just looking at it for doing other things, you just get ideas. So yeah, I hope you like that. So More Messages, that's the card that I've made with that one. So just pop those out and put them on top. You could stamp the whole thing at an angle and just have a portion of that. That would also work, just going across. And then I use some of those on the inside as well. So just trying to think, you could have, yeah, chunk those, or cut them into other panels as well. So cut some of the sentiments together. Okay, right, I ranted enough, gone on far too long. So there we go, More Messages. The stamp set is £24, the die is 31, and the bundle is discounted to $49.50. But I think there's a lot of sentiments there and lots of things that you could make use of. So they'll be appearing at Coffee and Card. So I've got no excuse, have I, as to not having a right sentiment or a decent shape. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back tomorrow evening, Thursday, to continue with our stamp set of the week, which was Gallery Blooms. So I hope you're able to join me for that. Now it's time for coffee. I hope you have a great day ahead, and I look forward to crafting with you again really soon. If you haven't got a catalogue and you don't have a demonstrator that you purchase from or support in the UK, do let me know and I can get a catalogue sent out to you. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead, and bye for now.